And sometimes we forgot the basic, but we go to the higher level one until we do not know how to implement that.
Beyond the Bible teaching, I think it would be good for the church to learn to develop a simple set of Christian teachings.
So, greetings everybody, welcome back to the ICCSA, Indonesian Council for Christian Stewardship and Accountability. I'm Handoko, and I'm very honored and very joyful. Today I'm with Reverend Huayung. Reverend Huayung is the Bishop Emeritus from Methodist Church from Malaysia, and also I am with Pendeta,
Yes.
Pendeta Ronald Octavianus. So it's really a privilege for me to be with both of you. So today we will talk something is very relevant to what we are facing day to day, which is that we are talking about ethics. Bioethics is very high somewhere, but we are talking about something is very interesting. I read the book from Reverend Huayung. It's about Christian Asian ethics. And one of the highlights is talking about the best practice in Christian moral formation. So when I read the best practice in Christian moral formation, I see that it's very key and relevant to what we are today. We are the leaders of the Christian, maybe the synod leaders, the local church leaders, and the foundation leaders. And it's very relevant to ICCSA because ICCSA we are talking about stewardship and accountability. So first of all, I will ask Reverend Huayung. So Reverend Huayung, when from the book of the Christian Asian Ethics, you are mentioning about the Christian moral formation. Can you share a bit about what it meant and how it works and so forth?
Many of us from Asia are first-generation Christians, and we don't have parents or grandparents to teach us what Christian ethics is. So for many of us, we really have got to go back to the Bible and read it and understand what the Bible is teaching, and then be able to apply the ethics, the practices. But unfortunately, sometimes the Bible do have a lot of details, and it's not always easy to master it, all the details. So I think in order to help our people to grow, mature as Christians and living out a Christian moral life, I think a number of things needs to be done. One is, I think there must be clear Bible teaching from the church. I think one of the problems with our preaching in Asia is a lot of people just tell stories instead of expounding what the Bible is teaching. I think the first challenge to the church is every pastor must learn to take the Bible and teach it. Teach what it teaches in terms of doctrine, teaches what it teaches in terms of moral living, and apply it
back to the Bible.
It's got to be back to the Bible, go back to show that the Bible says this is what the Bible teaches. There's a principle and how we apply it. So for example, the Bible says do not murder. Then how do you apply to a relation to the question of abortion? That abortion is equivalent to murder. But many pastors don't bother to teach it, unfortunately. And I think that's the first challenge. I think we need to help our people to understand these basic things. The second challenge is beyond the Bible teaching, I think it would be good for the church to learn to develop a simple set of Christian teachings for the members. I give a simple example. In the early Methodist revival, John Wesley had to teach many converts from non-Christian background who has got no Christian basics. What did he do? He took the Bible's teaching and looking at the situation at that time, he reduced it to a set of guidelines. He calls it the general rules of the Methodist Church, but you can call it the guidelines for Christian living. And it was basically 2 A4 pages as well, very simple, not complicated, and just deals with what is a Christian, what you must do in order to obey God, what you should not do, and how you should learn to grow as a Christian in terms of your spiritual exercises, like going to church, listening to Bible teaching, and so on. So these are very simple rules. For example, if you apply today, we will say that don't go to use your handphone and start watching pornography. That's wrong. You got me or not? What you learn to do is to build good Christian relationship between your family, within friends, between boys and men and women, etc. So simple rules. And there was nothing complicated about the general rules. It's very simple. You can apply it today as well. And if the church can do that, it begins to give a set of guidelines for Christians how they can live lives that are simple and honest and respectable and holy. But over and above that, he didn't just give a set of, John Wesley didn't just give what he called the general rules. He also did something else. He required every church member to attend a small group meeting, which he called classes. Every week, you have to attend a meeting. If you don't attend for 2 weeks, you're asked to leave the movement. Because John Wesley required the church to be serious. And at that small group meeting, they don't interrogate you. The meeting is meant to support you pastorally. If you've got problems, for example, financially you're in difficulty or your family is sick, it will give you support. Secondly, they will pray for you. But thirdly, the group also helps you to face your challenges, moral challenges. It makes you accountable. So for example, if you say, look, I'm having a boss who demands I pay corruption, how do I deal with it? A group will begin to support you, to ask you to help you do this. So I think we all need this, a set of simple guidelines and a group that helps us to know how to holds us accountable so that together as a small group and as a church, we'll grow to be a holy people.
Wow. I heard three words. First of all, we always back to the Bible, because if not, we quarrel. The larger the organization, usually it becomes experience, own knowledge, interest, and it becomes quarrel. But when you put it as from individual, we're coming back to the Bible. What is the general rules? What is the basic rules? And sometimes we forgot the basic, but we go to the higher level one until we do not know how to implement that. But it's very interesting. But the third key words, I think, is very interesting, that one you are saying about accountability. So when we put these three, I think in organization, we are talking when the general rules, we are talking about manuals, policies, and so forth. And then accountability, we are talking a reporting system, between the structure and so forth. So Reverend Hua Yung, I know that you are the leader of organization before. How you see these general rules of the Methodists when you reflect as your leadership in an organization, how really it works or translated into that context?
I think I came to realize how wise John Wesley was, even though I'm Methodist, because nobody explained that to me. I only came to realize it much later in my life. By that time, I was near to my, I'm leaving ministry, right? But right now, I'm going back talking to the leaders of the church. And talking to also those outside the church. For example, some of the indigenous churches in our country, they're needing help. So I'm working with them. So I'm actually trying to introduce to them the same principles. So what we have done is, one thing we have done in the Methodist Church now is that we have taken the general rules that John Wesley drew up. By the way, the general rules, you can easily just go to Google, it's general rules on the Methodist Church, you can actually find it. It's very simple. We took those rules, which was drawn up in the 18th century, which doesn't quite relate to our culture now. Then we asked a small group to work at it. How does it apply to our small group? So we've drawn up an updated set of rules. So we have got a set of rules for everybody as a guideline for Christian living. And then we want to say to the church, we say, look, this is a guideline for Christian living. Teach in your church, get the church members to do it. And then secondly, we say, get everybody into small groups in our churches. And let your small groups not just be pastoral groups, which we are very good. We have fellowship together. We encourage one another, but also let it be accountability group. accountability, hold each other accountable, so that together we may grow to be truly a people of God. I think that's the way we have to move forward.
Wow, it's very good because I've reflected when you focus on the target group of pastors, and pastors share it to the congregation, and congregation bring it to the family, and then bring it to the workplace, and become the lifestyle, and also become the culture, which is that I like the word, the Christian ethics, moral formation. So back to that. So that's the way we see it in this process when we build this momentum, and we build this, I call it the, how really that sometimes we, when we do something, an initiative that we see how it can be sustainable, how it's become impactful. I think there's two keywords that always sometimes we broke something in the middle. So as we know, in Indonesia, we have thousands and thousands of the Christian foundations. And we know also, I mean, it's a fact, so from the statistic and also from the engagement. One of the key issues is, or challenges maybe, is the word is that is about good governance. And good governance, when we reflect on what being shared with Reverend Wayung, is a lot of challenge for us. Sometimes because of ignorance, ignorance because of that we don't have the knowledge, and somebody has to introduce to us. And the other one because of the limited or scarcity of the human resources. The skilled person, which is that, can means define it and put in the context of the congregation, and how to move it forward into the operation excellence and so forth. So now we have Reverend Pastor Pastor Roland, which is